WAPB Madison, and we are just having Volusia County Women That Cares all day long, and I love it. This is my favorite thing to do. So we have Miss Teresa in here, and she is going to explain to us all about Volusia County Women That Care.
Well, thank you, Shelley, one of our biggest fans, one of our biggest ambassadors. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I'm Teresa Smith with Volusia County Women Who Care. We are a membership organization, and we have over 380 members. Women and men, by the way. Men, you are welcome to join us.
And they're showing up.
They are showing up. We have some men joining us this last time. I think that the word's getting out that, you know what, here's a wonderful way to make a difference. It's collective action. Every one of us do our part. And so here's how it works. For anybody that's interested, you show up either via Zoom or in person once a quarter. Our next meeting is November 13th at the Maury Husseini Center at Daytona State College. Everybody is invited. We will be celebrating our 8th anniversary of collective impact. Amazing. Anyway, members, for those who commit to join our organization, they have the opportunity to nominate a nonprofit they really care about. And as long as that nonprofit, we check them out, make sure they're properly registered with the state, registered with the federal government, they've been in business, they're doing the work they say they're going to do, then they are entered into a drawing. And each quarter, at that quarterly meeting, we draw 3 randomly, ladies and gentlemen, randomly. Those 3 have the opportunity to present for 10 minutes each to our audience there that evening. And the cool thing, beyond the opportunity to receive funds, the cool thing about that is one of our previous interviewers made this point, is it's a great advocacy tool. You get to be heard in front of a group of community leaders and women and men who are making a difference in this community, who really care about the community and predisposed to getting engaged and involved. So all kinds of magic happens that evening. And if you come, you feel the energy, you feel the excitement. Then, after those 3 organizations present, our members have the opportunity to vote. The one receiving the majority of the votes is that quarter's recipient, and everybody writes them a $100 check or makes a $100 contribution. We go about collecting that, and we present it at a check presentation. In this particular case, it'll be on September 29th, I believe. And last quarter, we presented over $35,000 to Volusia Free Clinic. So it's not a little bit, but everybody's $100 matters. It's collective action. It's what we can do together when we come together as a community. So we're very excited. The other 2 organizations receive a smaller grant from our Community Partner Impact Fund. And so they will receive $1,200, which makes a difference. Plus, they get all that exposure. And that fund is funded by individuals and organizations in our community who donate to that fund to help us expand the impact. It's a lot of words, Shelley, but thank you for letting me share
exciting. That. I mean, I love that you explain it where you dumbfound it down so we can all understand that $1.10 a day makes a difference. Really,
yes, $1.10 a day.
It comes down to about $1.10 a day, and I've been with it for several years. From going from the first big check was like $3,000 to what you guys are about to receive.
It's amazing, and every quarter we have the privilege. Shelley brings us all in here, gives the opportunity to expose and lift you a little bit more and spread your mission to her listening audience. And today I'm very excited to introduce Sally and Kathy from Sophie's Circle. And I have to say, this is the first time in our 8 years that we've ever funded an organization that works with animals. That's not good or bad. That is just a first.
Yep.
And so we're very excited to learn about what you do, because we all care about our pets, and we all care about, hopefully we care about the people in our community and the animals in our community, and we care about our environment, and we care about the quality of life in our community, and our animals are part of that. So we're very excited to learn a little more about your vision, Kathy, what you did, and Sally, who presented so eloquently for us, and as a member of Volusia County Women in Care. So thank you.
So introduce yourself now. It's so cute. I sat at the same table with her, and she doesn't even remember me. She was
I'm
in
lucky
awe.
I remember Kathy.
No, it was so cute because I think when they said, who was one of the recipients to come up and talk, I don't know if you really got it for a moment there. You were like, that was me. And you got up there and you spoke from your heart. So introduce yourself and who you're with.
I'm Sally Trant, and I am actually a very proud member of Volusia County Women Who Care. I'm a sustaining member, and I have been with them for 6 years. And like you said, to watch where it has come in 6 years, the difference in the amounts of money and what changes they're making for people is just, it's something that every time I come, I just go like, why doesn't everyone do this?
I don't even remember walking to my car when I leave, really, because I'm in such awe
Exactly.
of what's going on in that room. And,
And I want to do everything. Like every person I talk to, and they'll be like, well, this is what we do. And I'm like, I need your phone number.
I know.
I need your phone number. So yeah, I'm thrilled to be with Volusia County Women Who Care. And then I actually got a pet when I was 65 years old. I had never had a pet in my life. And I went and got myself a little 8-week-old puppy. And when I got him home, he was a love, but he needed some training. And so somebody in the neighborhood had used this trainer, Dana, and I said, well, I'm going to call her up. So Dana trained my puppy, and he is fabulous. But through her, I got to meet Kathy with Sophie Circle and found out what they do. And I was not looking for another dog. I was just like, well, I can do something with dogs. I love dogs. So I was doing some fostering and brought some fosters home that my little Willie was not thrilled with. And it was like, well,
jealousy?
Get over it. Get over it, because this is going to be a new thing. But he has dealt with it. And then I started doing like transporting dogs. I would drive up to St. Augustine and meet people coming down from Georgia that were bringing us dogs, and was loving that. And I went up to Middleburg, which is near Jacksonville. I didn't even know where it was.
I didn't even know that was in Florida.
I didn't either.
I thought she was talking about
I
Carolina.
thought I was going to Virginia. It was,
Right, exactly.
But
Thank God for GPSs.
I went up and met these people, and it's a sad story but happy story. The woman who had adopted this dog, Reese, when he was a puppy, he was born into Sophie's Circle. His mother was found as a stray, and she was pregnant. She had a litter in one of our fosters. And so this woman had adopted her, but she and her family had just moved here from Wisconsin or somewhere, Michigan, and she was diagnosed with cancer. And they were going to Mayo, and she had 2 young daughters, young, like 20s. And her husband traveled for work, so he was, gone. And so I think after a year, they decided they had another older dog and a cat, and they just could not keep it up. So I was to go up there and pick up Reese and take him to his foster home. So I sat with that family. The mother was in the hospital. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet her. But I sat with the dad and one of the daughters, and we talked all about the situation. And trying so hard not to cry, I finally just said, you know what? Reese isn't going to a foster home. He's coming home with me. And they were like, you're kidding. And I said, no. That's it.
So do you
So you're a
only have
fail.
2?
You're a foster fail.
I am a foster fail.
Yeah, okay.
And I said, and
And we just told her that live on the air.
and I was a fast foster fail. It wasn't even like,
You didn't work at it. You just became one.
it was just an instant love for this dog. He is beautiful.
So do you have 2 then?
So now I have 2. So now I do short-term fosters.
I was going to say they don't allow her to go pick up any dogs anymore, huh?
Well,
When Kathy calls and says, I have an emergency, can you go? I'm like, yes, I will do that. So I will bring these third dogs into the home and try to calm the other 2 and explain to them it's short term. But it has been such a pleasure to work with Kathy and Sophie Circle. It's just...
So you must be Kathy.
I am.
And
I am,
what
yes.
is this organization? And you're a nonprofit, of course. And
Of
tell
course,
us the
yes.
backstory of how did it all start?
Okay, sure. I would like to start, though, by saying, Teresa, I think your idea is brilliant. Your organization is brilliant. I mean, just
I
when you
second that.
think about the power of the people coming together and just giving only $100, because it really is not that much money.
Right.
And it's not life-changing to any nonprofit either. But collectively, it's enormous. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that Sally is one of my very, very favorite people in this whole entire world. And she made the best phone call to me after the meeting. I couldn't be there because I was in the mountains with the family. We took a vacation.
That's a phone call you're glad you accepted, huh?
I saw it with Sally, and I thought this can't be. But sure enough, but back to the humble beginnings of Sophie's Circle. It actually started unexpectedly because I was going into one of the shelters, one of the local shelters, actually on a sales call. And on a whim said, do you have any huskies? Because I had a husky who had, that's actually the dog that changed my life, because that was when I still lived in Pennsylvania. And somebody had thrown this puppy out of the car, and I ended up with her, didn't want another dog. We had several at the time. And oh, that dog was the love of my life. Everybody says they had that one dog in their lifetime, and that was mine. So I thought, well, let me get a little husky friend for her. And I asked, do you have any huskies? And she said, well, there's only one, but she's in quarantine. I said, oh, why? And she said, well, she's going to be euthanized today. And I said, they don't talk so frilly anymore. This was almost 20 years ago, and it was a little bit more seat of the pants, not so politically correct, now. I mean, they'd never say something like that to a total stranger. But anyway, at the time they did, and I said, why? And she said, well, she's heartworm positive. And I said, oh. So I called my vet. I called my vet real quick, and I said, is heartworm disease, is that fixable? Because that's how little I knew.
Right.
I mean, I was green.
I wouldn't have known either.
I was green. And he said, yeah, of course, yeah. He said, and he said, why, and I said, I'm thinking of getting a dog that's heartworm positive. And he said, okay, well, just let me know. That's also when the vet actually got on the phone with you. But anyway, so I said I'd like to see the dog, and she said, no, we can't let you do that because they.
Why did you even tell me you had one?
Exactly, she is scheduled to die.
Right.
So she leaves. I'm standing there in the lobby all by myself. Somebody else comes through, and she said, "Can I help you? Are you being helped?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I'm here to see the husky that's back in quarantine."
You're
I
so
kind
cute.
of
You kinda
skulked back there.
manipulated that
Right.
one, huh?
Yes, I did. I skulked back there thinking, I hope that other one doesn't come around. And there was Sophie laying there with her huge blue eyes looking up at me. And I mean, I left with her. I said, I'm taking this dog. I had to have that dog. And we walked out of there. My thought was, how are we killing beautiful dogs? How is that even possible? That such a beautiful animal would be destroyed because she has something wrong with her that's fixable. And so I had my aha moment, I had my call to action moment, I had my life-changing moment. It was game on. I was going to help. So I inserted myself into the animal welfare community here in Volusia County, which is very large, and lots of players, lots of people really working passionately to help. And just got so heavily involved and didn't really know what I wanted to do or how I was going to do this. But the immediate thing that I did was opened a pet food pantry, because at the time, this was back during the housing crisis, back in 2007, 2008, people were losing their homes right and left. People were broke. And I was trying to keep their pets at home with them. And that's actually how I met Dana, because Dana was a school teacher, elementary school, and she did a food drive, and she actually put together the sweetest little video you ever saw with her fourth grade class, like the mom, the dad, and the knock on the door, and the mom and the dad telling the kids that, sorry, the pets have to go because we can't afford them. And then there's this knock on the door, and there's this little girl standing there, and, hi, I'm Kathy Blackman, and I'm here to help. And Dana became one of my favorite people in the world in that instant that she put that together. It was the sweetest thing I ever saw. I mean, really. And I still have that little video. But she is on our board, and she's been an active member of our rescue team all these years, and of course introduced me to Sally, which led us here.
So do you only rescue dogs?
Yes, okay. Cats are a whole different ball game. There's so many. it's unbelievable how much need there is. This community has tons and tons of need. I was involved with a bunch of the women who are activists, and we work tirelessly to get spay and neuter laws on the book in every city in Volusia County and the county, and they're not enforced. They're not enforcing spay and neuter laws. And if they that simple thing right there would just change so much, because we don't have a fighting chance against the backyard breeders. We just don't. And the amount of puppies that are being let go now because these breeders have no market. They essentially lost their market right now because we are in an economic downturn. People don't have much money. Things are being like, oh, they're not buying puppies from these backyard breeders right now because they're commanding strong money for them. Mm-hmm. So they're just letting them loose. They're calling rescues, asking rescues to take these dogs off their hand that they brought into the world that they shouldn't have in the first place for profit. And we literally cannot keep up. We cannot keep up. I was so stressed out this morning just with my spreadsheet and my flow charts and my command center. Where are all these dogs going to go?
I mean, like, how many dogs do you have right now?
Oh, there's more than 50, and I've got phone calls for...
And you have them all fostered out? Is that how it works? So
yes.
You foster them to people? Okay.
Yes. I started rescue. It was inadvertent because once you're out there, once your name's out there, once you're going to start getting the phone calls.
How do we phone you? Mm-hmm. How do we get a hold of you?
Oh, my number is out there.
Well, tell us, though. We need your number.
386-690-6771. And I do get calls all day long. People needing to surrender. People found a stray. Somebody died. That's a big one right now. Mm-hmm. Somebody died. They had dogs. Somebody's going into hospice. They have dogs. So I try to help according to who's the most urgent, what's the most important, how, which dog is really, and that's hard to do. It's hard to say, this one I'll help and this one I just can't. And I say no a lot, and it's heartbreaking to have to say no. And I'm talking to people that are just in tears. They're just crying their eyes out. They don't know what to do. They are out of options. And they say to me, what can I do? And I say, I don't know. I used to have answers. I don't have answers anymore because it's that bad. And so, you try as hard as you can to keep up. But as of right now, I have surpassed 4,500 dogs that I have rescued and rehomed since I started. So I know I'm making a difference, but it's really a struggle. And now, we've got other issues that are hurting us, as far as, the humane societies are making changes. Our major Humane Society here in Volusia County has made a drastic change in their policies, and that puts more strays out there that aren't being accepted, and so we have to figure out.
Do you need volunteers to foster home? I mean,
always.
Dogs? Is that what you need?
I need fosters more than anything in this whole wide world right now.
And what do you mean you need a foster? Like, if somebody's listening right now, are there qualifications to be a foster?
Yeah, there's an application.
People need to know that because I'm sitting here going, so do I go home today with a dog? I mean.
Well, I agree with you. You only know what you know,
right? And you need to be educated.
Yes, and so a foster mom, they're usually moms, but we do get men. Men do offer to foster, and so what I ask you to do as a foster mom or dad is keep this dog safe for me. Treat him like he is a valued guest in your home. Give him all that he needs as far as, enrichment, food, nourishment, take him for walks, give him whatever his little heart desires. I'll pay for whatever you need.
Oh, so you
I pay for everything. As long it's my dog, so I accept responsibility. When I say yes to somebody for a dog, that's my dog, and I will treat that dog he will get everything he needs. If he's heartworm positive, I will make sure that he gets every treatment that's necessary. I am not mindful of the cost. It's important. He needs to be made healthy again. If he has a torn ACL, it's fixed. If he swallowed something, I just got an Airedale. I guess it's 2 weeks now, an Airedale that ate something and had an obstruction, and it's not cheap. And whatever they need. And then so the Airedale, for instance, is recovering now with his foster mom. and they love him, and I think they're probably going to end up keeping
I was going to
the
say,
Airedale.
now some of those adopt them, right? Because we have a fine example in here that
Well,
adopted.
and this is our example right here. Sally is a good example of a foster failure. Now, here's the downside to foster failures, and we have a lot of them. They usually can't foster anymore. So I lose. So while I'm very happy, people call me and say, "Oh, Kathy, I'm keeping so and so," and I say, "Oh,
But then
well,
they're done.
wonderful. They're done. They're done."
So we fill out an application to become a foster
We fill
parent.
out an application.
And where
They're on
would
our
we find-
website,
okay, what's your website?
sophiecircle.org.
Okay.
And they're right on there. You fill out the application, and then the application tells me everything I need to know about you. Do you have cats? Do you have kids? Do you have grandchildren who come over? Do you have a disabled elderly mother? So I'm going to be very careful
Right.
who's going to get this dog. If this
You're
dog
not going to
is
give me a German Shepherd if I'm bedridden.
no, I'm not giving you a rambunctious lab who's jumping all over and likes to swing from the chandelier. If you have a little old mother who's
Or I'm in a one-bedroom apartment.
Right,
Because
right,
that dog's
right,
bigger than my
right.
apartment.
right, or if it's a cat killer, and they're out there in large numbers. Dogs, for the most part, we're not fans of cats,
Okay.
and so you got to be super careful. I always say I don't want any lives lost on my watch. I don't
Right.
want that phone call that so and so killed my cat.
How quick once I apply does it happen? Is it
You should see how fast I move.
well, because you're probably so excited when you get that little opening.
You
that
bet
little,
I am.
You got mail probably makes you really happy on that
You
one.
bet I am. I am really happy, and so I'll talk to the people, and we get to be friends, don't we? We
Absolutely.
Like, do you go check out their house to see if they're really telling you the truth?
I've been to Sally's house. I knew she was aces. I just, I tell people all the time, Sally's a good egg. She is. She's, and I have so many really, really good people in the organization. I've got people that I can just say, I just did. There's a dog who's has to go in for her spay, and the adopter has cancer and has her chemo treatment the very same day as the spay. And I've got a volunteer that all she does is manage
Fills in the
transports.
gaps when there's problems and stuff.
I tell her, this is what I need, and this is where the dog is, and this is where the dog's going, and this is what time the dog has to
So
be
there's
there.
all different kinds of ways of volunteering.
Oh
with you.
yeah, driving, picking the dog up, taking that person. Somebody will. By the time this show is over, she will. I know that she'll have somebody for me who's going to pick that dog up in Edgewater, and have her to her appointment at 7:30 in the morning up in Ormond. Drop the dog off, and then the dog will then be picked up and taken back to her owner.
So that's why you have spreadsheets everywhere, because you got to keep track of all these dogs. And
Right.
All that.
Who needs what? Where they're going, and
Now,
then
do you put a tracker on them when you foster them out?
no. No, we've never actually lost a dog permanently. We've had them go missing, but they're usually found pretty quickly.
But we put the
We put a tag on them, a Sophie Circle tag, yeah.
Well, that's important.
but
because
also they're chipped.
Oh, they're all chipped.
We get them all chipped.
Okay.
yeah,
Well, that's
every dog
very
is chipped.
important. Very important.
Right,
Very
but
important.
if the little air tag or anything like that, we haven't done
chipping
anything
is
like that.
basically better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, I was just thinking, because if I was a foster parent and I took them to the park and they've never been to this park, and there's this cute other little dog that ran by and they took off running, and I have to call you and say, I've
Yeah.
lost my foster.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah.
I will have to say that when I got my foster fail,
See, I'm loving that you're admitting it live on the air.
Oh,
honey.
I'm
shame.
actually
There's no
proud
shame.
to admit it, because he is the best dog in the world. I couldn't have asked for a better dog. His demeanor is
He was fit for
fabulous.
you.
He is a good dog.
It was perfect. And I want to say I had him maybe 3 days, and he slipped his collar when he went out to go to the bathroom, and he flew. Now, I can't run. I mean, I pretended I was running after him.
I wish I had that video.
Oh my God! I could not believe how fast he went, and then it was like he did it on purpose. He ran so fast, and then he turned around and ran back right by me.
Right.
And
teasing you.
Exactly.
Right.
And I'm going like, this is like a cartoon,
Right.
But now, I mean, I've had him for a year.
Now he knows your mannerism.
He
you
has
know his
not
mannerism.
been to any formal training. I'm taking to a pack walk this weekend with Dana, but he's not been to any formal training. But because of the training I got from Dana on how to work with Willie, I was able to get Reese to do the exact same things. It took him a little while, but I can let him out the door. He doesn't go anywhere. He literally will go about a foot from the stoop of the door, and he'll do his business and come back in the house.
Well, that was my thinking because, it's a different environment, so
Yeah.
how that all works out.
I tell people, be extra cautious. The dog doesn't know where he is
Right.
and is confused. And people are, it's amazing, the people that step up to typically really go the extra mile. We just don't have those problems.
Well, how long is your foster commitment? So somebody's listening right now and they want to apply to be a foster parent, but they're saying, I can't commit for the rest of my life. Like, what is a normal commitment?
We turn and burn. We move them along.
Really?
Because social media is everything.
Right.
So there's the other element of rescue is how good are you at social media? How good are you at managing these dogs? Are they on different platforms where they're going to get exposure outside of Volusia County?
So when you're saying that, so like if you rescued a Frenchie, let's just say a little
Yeah.
Frenchie, then you're taking it to the foster and then you're looking for a forever home.
Yes.
All at the same time.
I am actively looking. I'll give you a good, for instance, I have 2 golden doodles coming in next week.
Oh, and they're gonna last?
The little teeny tiny ones
Oh.
too. Yeah, babies. Now, anyone who does anything every single day for hours at a time gets good at it. You're going to. I'm really good at identifying what's going to adopt in like this and what's
And
going
they will
to
be-
hang out.
They're going to be like before it even the picture.
Yeah. Oh, before they show up in Volusia County, they will be spoken for. People love doodles.
Oh, we had one as a neighbor, and that dog was unbelievable. And then we have one that wasn't a neighbor, and it's really the person. That dog forms to however. If that person's hyper or doesn't have
Yes.
rules or mind,
Yes.
I don't care. They're going to be the same way. But if that person's structured, that dog is the most amazing dog ever. Because that one next door was the most amazing dog ever.
You could not be more right. I just had a doodle that was with somebody who was an absolute neurotic basket case. A foster, I mean, she
I
just
think I know
is.
that person. No,
That's your neighbor? Is that the...
Yeah.
no, that's the other one.
And the dog was consequently a neurotic basket case. He is now, I was just with the owners of the dog, who is just a calm, woman who, the dog, he is a different dog. It is day and night.
And doodles are like that. I mean, this one
yeah.
would come. I would floor it, so I don't want scratches. And he would come into my house like, well, I'm over here. I'm come to visit. We're neighbors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, perfect. Never jumped on the furniture. Never did anything. And I was like, now that I would adopt because.
Yes.
But it had to do with the owner.
It has to do with the owner, and they're very needy dogs. It's a needy breed. Every
It
breed
is.
brings
Cracks
its
me up.
own characteristics. This particular doodle, he was a big boy. He's a big boy. He's a 60-pounder, and he likes to jump up on his back legs and wrap his arms around you. He's like, I need to hug you. He's very needy, And
Yeah, they don't want you to take the kids to school. They don't want you to go. No, I want to
no.
go to school.
Yeah, right. And I have huskies who are the equivalent. They're like the canine version of cats. They're laying over here and leave me alone. Why are you touching me, Mom? What do you want now? I am not coming over. No way.
So how many do you have ready to adopt out right now?
Let me think. Ready to adopt, there's probably 40 that are absolutely.
And how would we find out about those adoptions?
They're on our website,
Okay, well, what is the
sophiecircle.org.
website?
Sophiecircle.org.
And do you have Facebook, Instagram, any of those social media?
Yes, we do Facebook, Instagram. We're on Pet Finder. We're on Rescue Me. I've got a lot of huskies because I love huskies, and everybody calls me about their huskies because they know I
They're
love
absolutely
huskies.
gorgeous.
They are. They're beautiful. They're wonderful dogs.
Are they a Florida dog, though?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm glad you said that because I thought.
No. No.
Okay.
No.
But
No.
they do fine.
They do
No, I
fine.
know, but you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised that you have a lot of huskies because I would think they would be where it's cold.
They
in my
are
mind.
so overbred in this state. It is criminal, and it's horrifying. It's there are more huskies in rescue than pit bulls.
Really?
Really?
Yes,
See, we're all shocked, aren't we?
Yeah, I really am shocked.
and it's ruining the breed. It's really a shame
Now,
because
how
it's
do you handle pit bulls? Because they're aggressive anyways.
not always. Not always. No. No.
Our
There's
trainer is amazing.
So you
with
have a
pit
trainer
bulls.
that works with.
Dana.
Dana does what? Well, because we all know about Dana now. But
Dana
what does
Conway.
Dana do?
Loose Leashes is her training. Now, she's won the community choice. She's won 4 years in a row.
Because she can get the dogs calmed down and normal.
She's
before-
amazing.
She is.
She's amazing.
She's like the dog whisperer.
Yes.
She is definitely, and she's we're doing the check presentation at her facility.
Okay.
So that people can kind of get to see what she just is. She's very different and unique. I mean, she's wonderful, and so she'll help. We'll call her in crisis. Hey, Dana, this dog is doing this, that, and she's. I just had a dog. She was surrendered because she had a peeing problem. She just peed. And didn't mean to. She just didn't even know she was. Sweet little dog. And the woman who adopted her was like, I can deal with this. I can handle it. I can handle it. Well, about 3 days later said, I can't handle this. I can't deal with this.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, yeah. I said, well, I kind of saw that. So I said, Dana, have you ever dealt with a dog that just pees over and like excitement or
Just because.
or the phone rings or the doorbell, She said, yeah. She said, I said, is it fixable? She goes, oh, yeah. I said, oh, okay. I said, I need you. And I gave her the information, and she went to the woman's house. She fixed it.
She's a dog whisperer.
She fixed it. Yes.
Yeah.
Now
Wow.
this was a dog that was surrendered. She's a puppy. She's still a puppy. She's like right around a year old.
So you get all ages.
And oh yeah, we get them from 6-7 weeks old all the way up to the seniors. Yeah. They shouldn't even be away from their mother at
I was
that
going to
age.
say, how do you get them when they're babies?
Oh, they're found. They find them laying on the road. They find them in a barn. There's so many heartbreaking
So
stories.
who finds them? Just like,
Everyone, I get calls
so
from
like do
everywhere.
police officers call you and say, we found these dogs, and you're the person they call?
Yes, animal control. I get calls from just people who found them. I was out walking and I found,
Where
or
did Princess come from?
So,
Princess from Halifax, you mean?
so like, do you have a facility then to put them all in, or they immediately get fostered out? I mean,
Well,
what is your plan when you get that phone call?
We have no facility. So,
Okay.
and that's a curse and a blessing.
Yes.
Yes.
I can totally see that.
Yes. And so, but I tell people, I don't have a kennel door that I can open and put this dog in.
Right.
So you have to be patient because people are very impatient. I need this dog on right now. And I don't like to upset a good Samaritan, because if you are a good Samaritan, you see a dog in need along the road and you say, oh my gosh, I have to help this poor dog. And then you call me and I say, sorry about your luck.
See.
I'm not going to do that to somebody, because
I would be the person that would do the nice thing, but then I couldn't take it home because I work all the time. So I'd be like,
well, right. And
I'd
that's
be the crying hysterical woman on the phone with you.
And why should you have to take the dog home? And why should you have to even feel any guilt
See, I'm
or
loving
feel
you
like
even
you just
more
have to
right now.
justify
Right,
it?
because I did my kind deed and then I don't know what to do. And then you're supposed to say, let's get the little foster person.
It's not you did your part, exactly. Now somebody has to take over and say, all right, we'll figure out where the dog can go. And then we
Figure it
do.
out.
We figure it out.
So what are you going to do with all the money that we're going to give you from
Oh,
Volusia
my
County Women That
goodness.
Care?
I am so happy about that money. Vet costs are
Because you're
excruciating.
making sure all that's taken care
Yes,
of.
yes. Our dogs are well taken care of. Well taken care of. So, and I've got wonderful vets, and everyone gives us a discount. I've got
But
a
there's
rescue.
still even a discount. There's still money.
The Airedale who ate the whatever it was that they pulled out of him. They couldn't identify it. They said it's kind of leathery and kind of long, and but his leash, somebody's shoe that went flat. Yeah, it just was not making its way through his small intestine. It just got roadblocked at a 180-degree turn, and there he was. He would have died. He would have died. He's only a year old. And so a surgery like that is I paid $6,200. And was it worth it? Yeah, I think it was.
So yes, this check is going to be life changing for you. But can people donate on a normal basis? I mean,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you have like monthly partners? Do you have fundraisers throughout the year? and
We
stuff?
do the monthly. We do fundraisers completely throughout the year.
And they would go to your website or social media?
Yes, all that's on the website.
And that
everything-
website
on
is?
Facebook, sophiecircle.org. and Facebook is Sophie Circle Dog Rescue. And what I like to do, here's what I like to do, and this is what this money gives me the ability to do, is somebody calls me and they say, I have my dog, and my dog has whatever, fill in the blank. I know. I had a woman with, the dog had bladder stones, and it was an older dog, and she was hysterical. She got on the phone with me and she told me that this dog was all she had. They lost her parents, her and her brother, when they were kids. This dog was her whole world. So to anybody else, it was an older mixed breed dog, but the dog was her dog. This was her world, and it was going to die without this surgery. And so they had called me at the vet's office. They said, will you do this? Will you pay for this? Because she has no money. And I said, well, and they said, then you can adopt the dog. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to adopt that dog. The dog is like 1,000,000 years old, and it's not a desirable breed. And I said, why doesn't she want the dog back? And she said, well, yeah, she wants the dog, but she said, I'm not going to ask you to do that.
Right.
She
felt guilty. She didn't want you to pay for something and then take it back.
Yeah. And I said, oh, geez. I said, she can have her dog back. I said, said, that's fine. And she said, but you'll pay. And I said, yes, I will pay for it. So she gets on the phone, and this woman was, she was actually suspicious. Nothing good has ever happened to her in her whole life.
Until you showed up.
And she was so fearful that you're going to keep my dog. She was looking for the...
Well, what's in?
Yeah,
But you
something.
gave her
There's a
grace.
catch.
You gave her grace.
And I told her, I said, there is absolutely no. And she's like, but. And I said, why don't you just sit back, close your eyes, and come to the conclusion that something good just happened in your life, and just accept that. And she didn't even know what to say to that. She said, okay. So she got the dog. The dog was all taken care of. The dog was fixed. I paid the bill. She picked her dog up. She didn't call and thank me or anything, because I think she thought, she still
thinks you're
thought
gonna-
She was
that
on the hook for something.
I've got to disappear. Me and my dog have to disappear. So do I care? No, I don't care, because she has her dog, and it doesn't matter if
Well, you were used to help her, and that's all that matters.
I was going to help her.
Yeah, you're
so
not doing it for the pat on the back.
No. And with that said, think of the other opportunities this money gives me to be able to, when I don't have to be so
Well, you don't have to look at that list and
Budgeting
go,
yeah.
okay, who's worthy, what dog is
Yeah.
worthy, what dog isn't,
Right.
how old's this dog, how young's this dog. You don't have to make that choice right now.
Exactly, because this isn't money that, I pretty much count on how much money comes in because of the monthly donations and everything and the fundraisers, and I can pretty much figure it and calculate it out and know where I'm at and know what I can do. This is like
Over the
extra.
transom. Yeah.
Yes. So it gives me that opportunity to say, sure, I'll help you. Let me. And if at the end of it, they get to keep their dog, bonus. That's
Well, that is your goal.
That's the goal. That is the goal. And
I did not understand that about the goal, just so you know that. When we went into this interview, I had my own idea of what I thought, and now I understand what you do. I thought you get all these dogs and everybody's just taking care of them. I didn't get that they're getting forever homes and all
Yes.
that. I don't know why I didn't get that, but I didn't. And
Right.
so that's really cool.
And why is it that we get the dogs that we get from Georgia, from Miami? Why is it that they send those dogs to us?
they're coming. Well, there's two coming in from Miami. They were tied to a pole. Miami's not good. Not good at all, and there's a lot going on. And referencing back to the Husky thing, I wish it wasn't such a popular breed. I wish with all my heart that people would stop. I wish they wouldn't glorify them. I wish that, like on Game of Thrones, that really put a hurting on the Huskies, because everybody, they use the Huskies for the dire wolves, and then everybody decides they need one. A Husky is a dog that, if you don't research, you get as an adorable puppy, and they are adorable puppies. And next thing you know, they're a year old, and they are willful, and they are stubborn, and they are tough. It's a tough breed.
And they talk a lot.
They talk a lot. They're incredibly smart, and they're a handful. And so now mine are absolute angels. In fact, people come to the door and say, "Why don't your dogs don't even bark?" Well, they don't. They're good dogs. You know, they're
trained.
They're trained, and they're just good. And all my huskies have been that way. But in the wrong hands, like we were saying, referencing back to that conversation, in the wrong hands, and there's a lot of them in the wrong hands, and I get them when they have been absolutely trashed. At 1 year, they are a hot mess.
And Dana steps in and helps.
Yes, and then we get them a good. Because they're fixable. They just need to understand the rules. But as long as they're breeding an Arctic animal in the tropics, my job is to get them into homes where they're not going to be outside. We don't allow any of our dogs to be outside dogs. It's hot. It's Florida. You just don't let a dog outside in Florida. You know, it doesn't. They weren't meant to live outside in this kind of climate, so they don't. You know, and my dogs don't. I would never walk them from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock. You know, no, it's too hot. We walk really early in the morning. We walk at 6 a.m. because it's nice. It's cooler. So you have to just do things according to, and you have to do that with every breed. You have to just
know the breed,
and deal
you
accordingly.
have to be educated and understand and help the person that's adopting or person that's fostering the rules.
And there's so much information. We live in an era of more information than we can possibly.
So do you
even use.
educate people then?
All the time.
Okay,
all
so
the time.
people that are going to foster or adopt, you vet them and you educate them on, because I mean, I know somebody that wants a Frenchie just because it's a Frenchie, and I'm thinking, do you know anything about the Frenchie except that it's a Frenchie?
That breed is, it's unfortunate. You know, they have to be delivered by C-section.
Oh.
It's unfortunate that they have the raging popularity that they have. The ones that come into rescue are the ones that are completely neurotic, are having seizures, have cleft palates. The ones that the breeders just absolutely wreck. And there's that. I think the tide is turning on that breed. I definitely
do
see
too. I definitely
shift.
think that, yes, because I think that what happened is it's kind of like that when that movie came out with the fish, and everybody went out and bought fish for a Christmas gift, and then there was all of a sudden the fish weren't there because they didn't know how to take care of them.
And they're flushing them down the
right.
toilet.
Well, I think that's what kind of happened with different dogs. We see them in the movies or on a TV show or whatever, and we it would be so cute to carry in my purse or whatever. Well, I mean, that's what happens. Let's get real, people. And then reality hits.
Yeah, 101 Dalmatians.
Right.
One of the hardest breeds out there. I mean, they're kind of like an insufferable breed, and yet
everybody wanted one.
Everybody wanted one
Right.
because they had no idea, because they're cute. Oh, they're white with spots. Oh, how cute. No, they're an absolute handful.
So, if you're listening right now and you said to somebody that's never had a dog, what would be the perfect starter dog?
Perfect starter dog would be just a nice, just easygoing. We get so many of them, just like a terrier, or we have these little terrier puppies right now that are beyond adorable. And just a dog like that, just look at the breed. I would say anything that's super popular right now, avoid it.
See, and that was a good statement right there, because when you were just saying, just look at the breed, I'm thinking, well, that's the problem. Everybody's looking at the show or the movie or the whatever, and they think that's the it thing.
Don't get the one that everybody else is getting right now. Look and see. Like, the most popular dog has always been the Lab. The Labrador Retriever is the number one, always has been, probably always will be. Everybody loves Labs. They're easygoing. I mean, they have their moments, and they have to be trained just like any other dog. I mean, they're high energy. But they're well loved. It's a beloved dog. Yeah, Golden Retrievers. But you can't find Golden Retrievers in rescue. They no. Again, that's a breed that if you find it in rescue, it means that something's wrong. It has hip dysplasia. It's got issues from the breeder.
Now, is it better to get a boy or a girl if you're starting out?
That is totally up to the individual. There's
not a preference.
There's not a preference. I always had girl dogs. Always had girl dogs. Always. So after one of my dogs died, and I was heartbroken, and one of the dogs came into the rescue, and it was a boy, and I kept him, and he has really made me love those boys. I mean, he is precious. And so he's completely different.
So when people are calling you, and what's that phone number again?
386-690-6771.
So if they're a newbie and they're thinking, I'd really like a dog, are you going to help them, guide them? Because, I would have no clue.
I always help and guide people. I am the queen of information. I will talk to somebody who has a problem with their dog. I will tell them, I will help them as much as I possibly can. If the person wants to surrender their dog because they can't afford, I will give them every option, every piece of information I can possibly give them. I am determined to let the dog be where it is. Let's work together. I will take that time. That's why I'm always running far behind, because I'll get into these conversations and just really the goal is I'm going to help this person. But I also can tell when a person doesn't want to be helped. So I'm not
discernment.
I'm good at it, and as soon as somebody it's like, okay, I can tell that this conversation is going nowhere positive. So let's, then I just.
That's really kind of you, though, because sometimes life happens.
Yes.
And they don't know how to handle their thing that's happening in their life.
Yes.
And if it comes down to them having dinner or not, you're going to say, well, I can help you with some food for a while or whatever.
Yes.
Until you can get back on your feet or make it through that treatment or whatever they're going through. And I love that about you.
Well, thank you. I think a lot of people don't put themselves into somebody else's shoes, and I think that's something that has.
You've been in a lot of shoes.
I've been in a lot of shoes. It's something that's gone by the wayside in our society, and I think we need more of it, because somebody's sitting in their car crying their eyes out because their boyfriend just threw them out. They are now officially homeless. They've got their dogs and their cat, and they do not know what to do. And you're on the phone with this person. I'm not going to be that person who just says, sorry about your luck. Or, make better decisions or try harder or, no, I'm going to, all right, let's think about this. What can we do here? Because I don't want the dogs living in the car. I don't want this. I feel so bad for these people, and they're in a situation, and I don't care how they got into that situation. They're in it. And it doesn't mean that, you don't have to.
You're not a bad person just because the situation
You're
happened.
not. You're a person that ran into some pretty, and who knows what.
Life happened.
Yes. But I will be honest with you. I mean, my main focus is the dogs. I want to make sure that, and I'll give them advice on what to do with the cats. I have good advice for that. But the dogs are the focus. Let's get these dogs out of here. Where can we take these dogs? How can I help? What can I do to help you? I don't want to be that person who says, I don't want that person to hang up the phone in despair. I want the person to hang.
I can tell that about you.
Well, it happens. I mean, there are times where I just don't have any options whatsoever. But I want that person to hang up the phone and go, oh, thank God, somebody's going to help me. And if you can do that for somebody, but then by the same token, I don't want to get myself into a situation, and it's more and more, we have to be more and more mindful, where now I've got, I don't want people making their problems my problems,
There's a fine line.
The trick is to keep these dogs moving, keep them moving, and that's where the social media comes in handy. That's where something like this is you can't put a price tag on the value of a microphone in front of me. People that do things to help people to, I'm one person. And what happened in this room, there's so much generosity in this room. And I think that's what we need in our world to be able to do it. So for me to stand here and take the accolades and say, no, it's a bunch of people, all of us collectively have done something so good for the dogs. And I'm so thrilled, and I'm so surprised that it's the first animal one. I love that.
So tell us again how we find you if we want to be a foster person, or we're looking for a dog, or maybe you're the person that finds a dog and doesn't know what to do. Tell me how to find
if you want to foster, there's this red carpet. You just find that red carpet that I roll out. Now, if you want to foster, the foster applications are on our website. I do like to talk to people about it and make sure that they understand what they're getting themselves into. It's just, and again, I'm very mindful of what their needs are. I'm not going to make anybody uncomfortable with a dog that's beyond what they can handle or what their
That's at
capabilities.
Sophie's Circle.
And that's Sophie's Circle. That's sophiecircle.org. Not everyone's like Sally. Sally's the emergency go-to. Sally, I need you. And she will respond every time. I mean, but not everybody's like that. You have to take everybody's personality in
And meet them
consideration
where they're at.
and meet them where they're at, because there's people that I would make the phone calls I make to Sally would just crumble and die. I mean, you're like, what? What are you asking?
So
of
what's
me?
the
You're out
phone
of your
number
mind.
people can call if they're looking to adopt it or to surrender a dog or whatever?
Surrender, adopt, any of it. This is the universal number, 386-690-6771.
Well, thank you so much for
No,
being here
thank
today.
you.
Teresa, what did we learn? Because, we always love to learn.
Oh,
And
my
since this is our first experience with an animal
Yeah.
situation, I learned a lot today.
I learned a lot today. I always learn a lot, Shelley. Thank you for giving us this venue so we all learn a little more, we all understand a little more, and we want our members in the community and our community leaders to understand that how we make an impact, and you get to provide that story and the how to, and it just demonstrates that women who care, men who care, people who care, can make a difference in many, many, many ways. And there's not just one thing, whether it's the arts, the environment, the animals, our people, our families, our children. It's all important. It all adds to the fabric and the quality of life in our community. So I'm grateful to you for your passion, for bringing them to us, and we're very excited. We're going to host, like we do every quarter, a check presentation and tour. As you said, it's going to be, I think it's the 29th at
Yes.
3:30, September 29th at 3:30. And tell us where that's going to be at.
It's at Dana's property where she does the dog training. It's I've actually not been there yet because she just moved.
Just got a brand new place.
Brand new place,
Let me
yes.
see what her address is.
And what we'll do there is we'll invite all of our members and anybody in the community that's interested to come and see what you do, learn a little more about you. We'll do the ceremonial check presentation, and the other two organizations that are funded this quarter will also be there, and we'll just have fun. And I think we're going to go have lunch and talk about the other fun things we'll do. So stay tuned.
It's very important that you show up for these check presentations, because I think what happens is the night that we're doing it, we really don't get it. Okay, I mean, we don't. And then we come here and do the live interviews and we learn so much.
Right.
And then when we actually go to the check presentation, we're in awe. I mean, we really are, as a person that was part of it, because we get to meet, we get to see, and we get to feel like we did something, that we made a difference. So it's
tangible.
very important to come to the check presentations.
Very important. You get to see it, and also you get to learn a little more, a little bit more about the organization. The address is 103 Cone Road in Ormond Beach. But for those of you who are members, that will be you'll get that information if you want to go to our website at www.bcwwc.org or Volusia County Women Who
You
Care.
can just write it all out, and then you'll find it, or you start writing it out, and it finds you. Because
Yeah, it'll pop up, and all this information will be on our website. And everybody is always invited. You don't have to be a member to show up to our quarterly meetings, to our check presentations. Just come, observe, learn who we are, learn about us. And I caution you, it's contagious.
It is.
But you know what? That's okay. Come, and we'll welcome you, and we won't pressure you.
And you'll also get to see the dog whisperer of Volusia
I know, I'm
County,
so excited
because
now, because that's like the thing,
Dana
right?
Conway Loose Leashes is amazing. She comes to our homes. She comes to Margaritaville and brings a dog, and she'll train a dog, and then she'll call the people that have adopted dogs, and she'll be like, "Can you bring your dog out in the street so we can walk by?" She's wonderful.
Tell us that phone number and social media one more time.
386-690-6771, sophiecircle.org, or on Facebook, Sophie Circle Dog Rescue.
Thank you so much. I learned so much
Yeah, me
today.
too.
Thank
and
you,
I should
Shelley.
actually think I could be a dog lover after today. Don't tell my husband. Okay?
I can talk to you about that right now.
Y'all have a wonderful, great day.